Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. This is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If that is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, this is a message for you. We're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. What do we have here for Capricorn? Well, immediately I see a little snake, a little serpent there. And kind of this, it almost looks like a person, but kind of with a circle head and like these little horns, like a little devil kind of. It looks like the person might be wearing a dress. Kind of reminds me of a stick figure that I would draw as a kid with a little triangle skirt. So what are we looking at? Okay. And then right behind it, it looks like a little dog or fox kind of jumping up at the back of this figure. Kind of almost looks like it's running, right? And then has this little dog kind of jumping up at it. And then we have the little snake kind of in the same scenario here in the top half of this bowl. It also looks like there might be another kind of skinny outline of a dog here. And then just some particles, right? And I think, some of that looks like motion, maybe energy, atmosphere. What is this scenario? Well, in the middle, I would say that this kind of naughty, I don't think that this is the devil in the sense of good, evil, or doing terrible things. I think this is more of mischief. I get the feeling this whole scene kind of just looks like a little bit of mischief. I think that this is definitely has to do directly with you, Capricorn, because this large figure is, this large figure, I just totally hit that. This large figure, it represents you, okay? And I think this is really kind of, you've been a little bit you've been a bit free-spirited lately, I think. And I think that you have maybe been, what's the word? Not flippant, but kind of, you've been free with your words. You've maybe been a little bit loose with your actions. And I don't mean that in a shaming way. I don't even mean it in that way at all. But what I do mean is, I think that you've just been kind of having fun. I think you've been kind of indulging in the things that you want to do. I think that I get this feeling that you've been out at night maybe a little bit more, or you've been up at night. The serpent to me in this situation represents, and here comes my cat, represents the gaining of knowledge. And I think that's really just been, maybe you've been doing some new things. Maybe you've been going out. Maybe you've been, having a little bit of nightlife. Maybe you have been exploring different parts of your consciousness and desires, meeting new people that kind of align with those interests. I think that you're just really, the biggest thing that stands out to me is that you're trying things that you were afraid to try before. I think that you're being brave. You're just, maybe some of the stuff that you kind of felt a little guilty for maybe being interested in, maybe partying, maybe I don't know, listening to certain kinds of music, going to shows, something like that. I don't think it's anything too extreme, but I see this kind of like nightside merriment. That's kind of the picture I have in my head. You're kind of running with the dogs a bit. And I think just enjoying yourself it seems like, I think that you're finding out some new things about yourself. I think that you're not really, and this is kind of where the little devil horns kind of come in. I don't think that it's about being bad, whatever bad means, but I think that you're learning to exist in a way that maybe other people don't always approve of, or maybe your former self wouldn't have approved of. You're allowing yourself some room to make some mistakes and try out some stuff that maybe, you just didn't, you were worried about what other people would think. I think that you're thinking about yourself right now, and that's okay, as long as you're being safe. And that's just the mom in me saying that. So I think that's kind of where you're at right now. I think that's the vibe of what's going on with you. I'm going to kind of look at this. I saw this while I was talking, and I think that there's some element of love here. And I think that this is romantic love, amor, eros, one of those kinds of things. I see a C and a backwards S. I think this is an S. So it has something to do with a C person, and they maybe have an S in their name as well. It could be a career that they're in, like, I don't know, like they drive cars, or I don't... I have a hard enough time thinking of a word that starts with, like a courier, or I don't, something. But with the two, I forget about it. So their name, or it could be a descriptive. Okay, and it could be two words. It could start with an S, end with a C, whatever it is. So let's see. Those are important letters. I'm getting the feeling, though, I don't know. I don't think this is like, I hate to say this because I'm still looking at it. I don't feel like I feel like it's a romantic thing, but I feel like it's not, like, I don't feel like you're very excited about it. I feel like that's maybe why you're in this zone with the going out, or the, I don't know, just immersing yourself in other things. And I think that I kind of feel like this relationship has kind of been the catalyst to get you to try to get outside of yourself and try some things that you didn't think that you necessarily were interested in before. And I see this sad face, and like, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but like, I just really get this overall vibe that it's just not a happy union. It's not the dating, if that's what it is. It's not going well. And I don't know if it's going to last or not. I can't really say, but I just don't think that it's the happiest thing right now. I feel like it's kind of what pushed you into wanting to do some other things at the moment. And I'm seeing right here in this formation, I see one person kind of sitting. I see another person kind of bunched up. Not really, it's not very clear. But what I do see is this X. And it reminds me of like two swords like fighting each other. And I feel like there's been a lot of fighting going on, a lot of bickering. And both of you have just really tried to stay away from each other as much as possible. Okay, and I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if we can see something as far as some kind of resolution. I see a small M and I see a V as well. So maybe this is another a V and an M. So maybe that's another name. Maybe that if there's some kind of V and M that has to do with your life. We have a C and an S that is more related to this love situation or lack thereof. And then up here, a V and an M, and that one is kind of more towards this situation with you, or part of this like kind of argumentative. Maybe it's something that you are arguing over. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something happened that caused some kind of friction. Okay, so this one's interesting. I keep looking at this, and I think has nothing to do with the love stuff, nothing to do, well, maybe to do with your apparent change, but I see this, it's almost like a goddess figure or a priestess, some kind of devotional figure, especially because of where it's kind of up on the side here. It's on the knees, kind of kneeling, and then there's a bird with a crown. Okay, so a royal bird, usually something that would represent the soul. I think that this really, just to me, represents something within you, or a presence outside of you that is tied to your spirituality, your guardian kind of angel type of energy, really looking out for you. I think that beyond all of this kind of mess that seems like it's going on right now with the love stuff, with this kind of self-exploration, but self-exploration in the physical material world, the mundane. This is more of like it seems more to be kind of, although you're gaining knowledge out of it, it's a frivolous kind of almost enjoying your youth type of thing. And I think that beyond the subtle fabrics of reality, there is this high priestess, goddess, conduit with this royal bird, the spirit, okay, being this in a posture of devotion to the spirit. Okay, so I think that really tells me that beyond all of this, there is a strong tie to the spiritual work. And I think that if that's never been activated, you are headed towards that. If that's something that you have spent your life working with, and you're kind of, in a lull as far as this like very intentional self-work or spiritual work, that's okay. But I think that you'll be returning to it relatively soon. I think it's definitely something that is very prominent in your experience, in your existence. This is something that your consciousness is tied to. This is really part of the work of this karmic cycle for you. Okay, so I think that you will be back into it fairly soon. Okay, I don't think that this kind of frivolous running with the animals under the moonlight, all of that stuff, having fun, well, hopefully you'll continue to have fun, but fun in this way. I think that you will return back to your normal nature and routines. Might not be with this person that you're dating or married to or whatever. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I think beyond all of that, you're going to return to yourself and start doing that work again. And I think that will be really important to you. I also see this figure, which is part of this heart. I'm not going to say this is related to it because I think this is more related to this goddess figure. And this heart upside down, it turns into a woman kind of playing a flute. Okay, and this seems like another, it seems like another spiritual entity, especially where it's placed. I don't think, again, this has nothing to do with the love situation. And I really think that, I feel that music is an important thing to you. I feel like this, it seems like a central theme in your life. I don't know if you're a musician, if you enjoy music, if music happens to be really, you know, piquing your interest lately. But I think that there will be a return to also some kind of strand of music that will be important. Because of the size of this formation and the density, I think it is going to be very important. And I think that through music, maybe even you know, something like ecstatic dance, like the, you know, like some kind of Sufic strand of ecstatic love through, you know, through music and movement and that type of thing. I think that that might be part of the key to returning back to the spiritual work, which seems like, really, as I'm saying it, tied into this this kind of avoiding the turmoil in life, going out with your friends or with yourself and just, you know, having some new experiences. I think that that is very much tied to this deeper desire for the movement and the music and, you know, alignment of the self and chakras and, you know, that all of that kind of stuff. I could see how these would be the beginning stirrings of getting to that point. Now, I think for you, Capricorn, I think that it's really important that you you take your interests, whatever things that are, whatever little fragments of inspiration, desire, if you're having, like, you know, periods of active imagination, say, or words are presenting themselves to you in your mind's eye or something like that. Write them down and go and research some of the things, the concepts, the feelings, the ideas that are coming to your mind. And I think that will really help you get into figuring out how you're going to get over to this, these spiritual practices. I think that you're maybe in a period of, like, discovering a new technique for you, a new system of working on this deeper spiritual work, working, you know, the self work. And I think that part of that is going to be researching, maybe go down a few Wikipedia wormholes, you know, or wormholes, excuse me, rabbit holes. Wormholes and rabbit holes, do it. But I think that this relationship stuff is really just, it feels like such a drain. I feel like it's like, you know, it's like you're pouring into a vessel that has a hole in the bottom of it, and it's just all pouring out as soon as you're pouring into it, right? So it just can never get full. And that's like the feeling that I get. And let me bring this one up. This is the card I pulled, and this is the Mother Peace Tarot. This is the Seven of Discs. Now, my understanding of the Seven of Discs, this imagery, I was a little perplexed by it. Although if you look at the face, she does kind of look like she's, you know, I don't know, not happy. I mean, she's full, like she's pregnant, but in the Thoth school of thought, this is the card for failure, and tied to kind of you know, the constricted elements of earthly life. So dwelling in Malkuth, in the lower self, in the bodily self. And I think this makes sense to the reading. I didn't, you know, I don't know. I pull the card first and then get the cup ready and stuff. And I don't always know how they're going to tie together. But it makes sense to me that, especially in a relationship that is not functioning well, and you're just really, you get tied to these like very mundane feelings, like these ordeals that are very like earthbound ordeals. And it's hard to make the space and room to explore and experience those things that your higher thinking, higher self, spiritual self wants and needs to get lost in, explore, tinker with, figure out, you know, walk through. Because you're so stuck in these things, living with somebody you don't like, not being able to get along, always, you know, sniping each other, that all that type of stuff, and then you just can't get out of it. But the thing is, our psyche takes care of us, right? So no matter what you do, you're going to have these like reactionary behaviors that, even if we don't necessarily see the direct correlation, or if we do, but we don't understand the underlying deeper meaning to those. So being in a kind of relationship, or at a place in your relationship where things aren't working, but then your reaction is to kind of like pull away, go out, do your own thing, maybe make new friends, see old friends that you haven't been seeing, whatever it is, going out, partying, dancing, listening to music, you know, whatever. Or maybe you're doing that at home. I don't know exactly. But I mean, you can do all that stuff on the internet basically too. So, you know, it's not just like the more overt, like, I just want to get away from you and go and party. Okay, that's part of it. But I think there's a driving force too, that this like strand that reaches up to the higher self, it's trying to help you find a release and you know, activate that connection to the divine through like ecstatic movement, through getting lost in the subtle beauties of music and dancing, and you know, the hypnotic enchantment of those things. And so that is our psyche helping us, delivering us from being stuck in these mundane ordeals, these Malkuthian ordeals, these physical world based reality, you know, the drudge of it all. And I think that's kind of, you know, that's what I'm seeing for you. I could be way off base, I don't know. But this is like the scenario that comes to mind for me with your situation right now, Capricorn. Okay. And let's take a look here. Let's see what we have on the plate. Okay. And so I see loosely just kind of this being that is this maybe a fox, a deer, kind of curled up in the face here, and it's like gazing. I kind of get this like thought of like a winter night, and I think that really what this is just a survival, a sense of survival in a harsh climate, situation, weather, but in that there is this time to contemplate while these like soul things are incubating, right? There's nothing you can do right now. There's a storm going on. And I think that this is kind of that representative of that quiet place within you that is always occurring, even while you have all this other stuff going on. There is that place in you, that place of solitude, that place of contemplation. I'm not saying go there and dwell there all the time, but I think that this is important to make some time for that. I think that if you don't do formal meditation, that's okay. You can sit and think about something. You're sitting in traffic, you're sitting in the bathroom, you're in the shower, whatever it is. You have a few moments to really just reflect and contemplate. You don't even have to make any kind of plan. You don't have to lament. Just kind of go, let the feelings, let the imagery, let the perceptions and impressions flow over and through you. And I think that's all that this is saying, that this is important to make some time for that and allow for that. And what that means, I don't know if it's going to be any kind of resolution or anything like that. I don't know, but I think that that's important, and that's what the saucer is telling me to tell you. Okay. All right, Capricorn. I keep almost wanting to say Cancer, and I'm really sorry. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I'm always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what kind of symbols you see in the cup. Let me know what resonates and what doesn't. Okay, any kind of engagement with the video really helps me get in the algorithm, and I am so thankful if you could help me with that. Okay, so also you can find me on Facebook. I have a page there, Ula Tea Leaf Readings. I'm on Instagram, Ula of the Tea. If you're interested in a private reading, please go ahead and open the description, and there's an email. You can send me an email and we will set up a private reading. Other than that, again, I'm so thankful. Thank you for watching the video. I hope to see you again, and I hope my messages are finding you well. Okay, take care of yourself, Capricorn. We'll see you again soon.